Here's your host, Alex Garrett.
In 3, 2, 1. All right, well, I know that Tristan Villarreal... All right, well, welcome inside to the Alex Garrett Podcast Network. It seems like the news is ever-changing every day, but I do want to say, if you want to take a moment and just deep dive into sports, highly recommend going to Unlimited Sports Collectibles today, where Tristan Vreeland of the Somerset Patriots will be hanging out with Nathan of the NR Hour. So check him out today, 6:30 to 8. I'll be live on the air with Joan Pelzer at that time, but it'll be a fun event and a nice distraction from what's going on in the world around us, which is where I really want to hit home today. With Joe Biden no longer seeking election or re-election, and with the nominee supposedly going to be Kamala Harris, but Obama thinks otherwise, and I'm sure others do, it's going to be a crazy convention. But with the uncertainty on the left and President Trump's defiant return to the podium, to the stage of the RNC, it's setting up for quite a clash. But here's my prayer. Vote for who you think will get us to year 250 of America. Let me say this again. Vote for who you think will get us to year 250 in America. It's only less than 2 years away. 7/4/26 will mark 250 years since the birth of America. Vote for who you think will get there. And I pray that the right leader is selected to get us there, that God will continue his guidance of us. Remember, we were founded on his principles, and he continues to guide us. I believe, no matter what you think, Joe Biden was selected not only by the people, but by God. He puts who he feels is right for the time in that presidential seat, in that Oval Office. I've always believed that. But don't waste your vote either. Go out there and vote for who you think will make us get to year 250, which will be the second year of the presidency. But I just wanted to shoot out this reminder that with all the uncertainty going on, with all the insanity going on, God's got us, and you out there have a chance to direct us in the way you feel possible, is the best way possible. But do it with the intention of getting us to 250. We talk about, and we're going to talk about all the time, up until November, the road to 270. 270 electoral votes. But why don't we think a little bigger here and say the road to 250 years? We just passed America's 248th birthday. We just passed it. Why not get us to year 250, and then we'll take it from there? Just get us through 2025, and then get us through most of July, most of the year, and then get us to year 250. We can talk about issues and policy and all that, and I know we'll talk about that. But we need a leader in there that's going to be the best person possible to get us to my personal goal, and it should be everybody's goal, of 250 years of America. My God, look at what's planned that year. In 2026, the Phillies will host the All-Star Game because, of course, Philadelphia is the birthplace of America. They'll also, I believe, have the World Cup that year, finalizing in MetLife Stadium. There's a lot to look forward to in 2026 alone. So vote with your heart of who you believe could get us to year 250 and nothing else. Do I want safe borders? Yes. Do I want people to feel like they can just live without government interference? Of course. But you know what I really want? And what the Founding Fathers are owed? That the country they started 248 years ago sees year 250. That's what we owe our Founding Fathers, who we wouldn't be here if it weren't for them to start. Everybody's going to get wrapped up in, who's going to be the nominee. Is it going to be a crazy convention like it was in 1968? But I'm getting wrapped up in something bigger. A bigger vision, which we should all have. Because if we don't elect the person we feel is best to not only lead the country in the now, but lead us to 250, we are royally screwed. We're royally screwed. And I'm going to tell you which way to vote. I'm just going to say, take that piece of advice when you pull the lever in 2024. Who will get us to 2026? Who will be the leader that we need? If it's Harris versus Trump, I feel like the answer is still going to be Donald Trump. Because he has a better record on the border. That's my personal opinion. But the further picture is, can he guide us once again after the craziness we saw on January 6th? Can he guide us again? And can whoever the Democrats nominate, if it is Kamala Harris, can she guide us to 2026? So I actually challenge both parties to this too. Are you certain, if you're a Republican, that Donald Trump can lead us not only through this time, but through to 2026? If so, vote for him. And if you're a Democrat, are you certain that Kamala Harris can lead us to 2026? We cannot vote with a small mind here. We have to vote with a bigger picture. And my bigger picture is who can win in 2024 to get us to 2026, year 250 of America. I'm concerned we may not see Joe Biden again, that they might do a quiet, resignation. I don't know. This thing should have been announced on television, this dropping out of re-election, not a note. That should have been a television speech. He says he's going to come on later in the week. We'll see if that happens. But something's going on, I feel, behind closed doors that tells me President Biden will not be seen on television later this week. And that unlike the Nixon resignation or the LBJ stepping away from re-election, we won't see it on television. But we should. Instead, we have a whole bunch of senators and congressmen and congresswomen praising the president for doing the patriotic thing. But where is the president to announce all of this himself? Why is it just a letter? We are owed more than that, President Biden. You can call him patriotic for stepping down, but I think the American people deserve to see him and hear from him, to see what the future holds for not only America, the rest of his administration. He's still got a country to lead the next few months here. Till January 20th, 2025. When the next president gets sworn in. So if you feel that one of these candidates will be right to lead us into 2026, vote for him. And I'm sure there are Democrats that are across party lines. Maybe Republicans do the same. But whoever you label yourself as, identify yourself as, vote for who you think will get us to 2026. It's honestly, with everything going on and the craziness that is politics, it's the least we can do for each other, for the good of America, and for the Founding Fathers. If we can get past all this political craziness, then guess what? We can smooth sail into 2026 and be a country 250 years old. I want to point you to an Instagram account and an organization that will hopefully repost this. It's all about year 250. And I'd love to have a representative to say, hey, you know what? Who do you think would be the best to serve this country to get us to 250? 250 America, America250.org. Check them out. America250.org. That's who we have to pray for. That organization. We've got to believe that we're voting for the right person to get us to 2026. That should be the goal. The short-term, egotistical, political nonsense should be out the window here. Who do you feel? And by the way, don't be afraid to vote for who you vote for. In your heart, just think of 250 years of America. We're almost there. Who can get us there? Who can get us there, America? That's the question we have to ask this election. And I think that'll calm us down a little bit. Because it's a frenzy right now, isn't it? But if we tune out the frenzy and we say, all right, Democrats are in disarray. Donald Trump still has to be sentenced in September. Who's the best person to get us to 2026? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. And I hope you pray on that. You help get us there at 250. And that no matter who you voted for, you voted with that thought in mind. The 250th birthday of America is on the ticket in November on the Alex Garrett Podcast Network.